before we went into, we're rolling into the next hour. And Zach Halverson, you're a buddy.
Zacko!
Hey, if you're watching, Zach, log on anytime. We're of course going to talk about the Wild. I wish there
was
a way.
He just logged into the Zoom.
Is there a way to get him up while we're talking to?
Let's see. Danny, is that possible? Can we bring in the
And then I'm
Zoom
going to have
while
to exit the screen so we can have like a reunited moment here. Just like love and
virtual hugs,
a bunch of KFAN love.
Seriously.
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
Let's see if we can.
You're muted, but I see you talking.
So
right. She's a wizard.
Oh, look at that. I've got Zach. You guys want to talk to him now?
Let's Zacko.
Bring it up. And then you keep that other eye on the Wolves podium for us.
I got
it. All right. Thanks. Awesome. Oh, good. Now we can.
Zacko! What's good,
How are you?
Black and beautiful. Last time I checked, looking at the monitor, I'm still black and I'm still beautiful. How you doing, brother?
Oh, let's keep it that way, all right? Wouldn't have it any other way.
So Zach, we were just dipping in and out of the Wolves presser there. We're going to probably go back live. So sorry if we interrupt you and kind of, shake up our interview with you just a little bit. But just kind of watching last night, the first thing I thought about was like, we have to have Zach on today to talk about this because I know you were there, you were watching. You have to walk us through. Let's set it up first, like just briefly set it up and then kind of slow us down at that last minute of regulation.
Yeah, I mean, it was very simple. The Wild needed to either win or just get to overtime. They would get the free point, and that would clinch a playoff spot. So that's all they needed to do. They're playing one of the worst teams in the league, the Anaheim Ducks. But as you know, what happens is you have a team like the Ducks who are motivated to be the spoiler, and they put everything they could through everything they could at the Wild. Their goaltender was unbelievable. And so we got to the third period. It was 1-1. The nerves were certainly there. The Wild had hit like 3 or 4 posts already in the game, and it just seemed like all the bounces were going the Ducks' way. In fact, the one goal they had, it was a very kind of a lucky bounce. So it was very nerve-wracking in St. Paul. And then in the third period, there was a turnover. Ducks score. It's 2-1. And then the clock just kept becoming an enemy of the Wild, ticking away at 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 8 minutes. And then finally we're under 2 and we're under 1. And there's 30 seconds left. And we're to the point where they're not necessarily eliminated from the playoffs, but then we'd be scoreboard watching the rest of the way. And it would be kind of ruining our little party we had going on here. We wanted to clinch it. We wanted to just be happy and go into the postseason on a Tuesday night as opposed to waiting for a day or two after to hope that the Flames of Calgary lose. Well, thankfully, there was a wonderful pass from Matt Boldy over to Joel Eriksson on the back door. He scored with 22-ish seconds to go in the game to tie it up. That's all they needed. We went to overtime, got the point. They clinched a spot in the playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, after 60 minutes of play. And so after that,
okay, let's pause.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have to stop you there because I got to slow this moment down.
Sure.
Walk me through your mindset. Yes, do this with me. Walk me through your mind at like 30 seconds left in this game.
I mean, I was sick. I was sick to my stomach because I'm like, I mean, again, we still had hope. We still could have made the playoffs, but it was like, man, are we going to lose on our final game of the regular season to the Ducks? And is it going to be because, I mean, there was a multitude of factors. This was the first time we were healthy the entire Wild team was healthy since November 10th of 2024. So it's been a while. And so these guys, the guys are coming back, Kaprizov, even Middleton, who was recently injured, they're trying to get their footing back. And so there was just every bounce was going the Ducks' way. And I was sick to my stomach and was really, really, really hoping that something would happen. There was multiple opportunities for the Ducks to score with that empty net. It just didn't bounce their way. Finally, the bounces were going Minnesota's way, and it went back in. There was a clearing attempt that was stopped by the Wild. Went back, the puck found the stick of Boldy, and then it went over to Eriksson. And if you watch the goal, it wasn't like a clean right away goal. Like Eriksson had to really fight along the post to finish, but thankfully he did. Like I said, it was the bounces finally went the Wild's way. Just it only took the 22 seconds left in the regular season to finally clinch the playoffs, which is very on brand for this 2024-25 campaign for the Minnesota Wild.
Zacho, thanks so much for joining us, brother. We could sit and listen to you talk about hockey all day.
And we might.
We might.
Do we want to bring him back?
Can you come back?
Can you hang for a couple of minutes?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to hang? Because I think we have Chris Finch.
I think we have Chris Finch at the podium, so let's go to that and we'll get back to Zacho.
Thanks, Zach.
You just saw Zach Halverson popped up on the screen as well. We rudely had to interrupt you, Zacho, to get to that. But we want to kind of pick up where we left off because there's so much more to talk about with the Wild.
Yeah, Zacho, and we went through all the emotional roller coaster of regulation, and as if that wasn't emotional enough, then Marc-Andre Fleury makes a surprise appearance in the net in overtime. Could you talk a little bit about that and how that decision came to be?
Well, my Minnesota Wild Radio Network colleague, Alexis Pearson, she spoke in my ear at the beginning of the period. She said, "Hey, if we go to overtime, do they put Fleury in?" And I said, "Yep, they better." And it wasn't they who actually ended up doing it. We found out after the game that it was Philip Gustafson who came to the bench. He had played a great 60 minutes, and he went up to his coach and said, "Hey, what do you think about putting Fleury out there?" And Hines said, "Great idea." Obviously, Fleury being cold was a little apprehensive about it, but had his opportunity to really just put a bow on just an incredible career. We saw him on the bench, put the mask on. He skated out there. The crowd went absolutely bonkers. That's the cool thing about this playoff-like atmosphere at the X. 19,000 people just rocking the place. Shout flower chants, Fleury chants, and he had his final start. Was this 8-7 game last week that wasn't the greatest send off, didn't have that storybook ending to a storied career, and we got that last night because again, more adversity. Wild took a penalty early. It was 4-on-3 power play for the Ducks for 2 minutes, and there were so many opportunities that they almost buried. And to Fleury's credit, he got to show his flair. He got to tap the post one more time. His whenever the puck hits the post, he thanks the post in both English and French, and gives it a little tap. He got to do that one last time, and then of course, thankfully, the Wild go down and Boldy finishes off. Like I said, just one of the more emotional nights you'll see, not only for the Wild, not only for the building, just for the league in general. That was such a special way to close out his at least his regular season career here, not only with the Minnesota Wild, but his long storied career. Win number 575 for Marc-Andre Fleury, and what an honor and a privilege it was to be able to witness that in person here in Minnesota.
For sure, yeah, future Hall of Famer, and just it was incredible to see people in the crowd because they were there thinking this is the last time they were going to see him play, on this home ice and in the regular season. So already people had signs.
Oh, wow.
It was just full. The arena was just full of signs and people already acknowledging him. And so when he went in, they panned to the crowd and you could see a few shots of people, and there were women who were just like wiping tears away, and I mean they were just like, wait, they're gonna do this? And it was just such a, even if you don't really follow hockey or it's not your sport or whatever, it was just such an emotional moment for somebody who just is so deserving. So yeah,
there were plenty of men that were wiping tears away.
Sorry,
I can personally attest to it. That was there was very few dry eyes in the house, and then even after the game, part of the post game scrum with Fleury, he was emotional, and I think his quote was, "It was fun to just go one more time out there and play the game I love," and that's the cool thing about this guy. I mean, everybody loves him. There's not nobody's ever said a bad word about him. Everybody loves this guy. He's so awesome, and again, just so cool to have him here in the state of hockey to say goodbye.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go, can we just kind of preview a little bit of Vegas? I mean, how have the Wild done against the Knights this season?
So they haven't done the best, but that's partially because all 3 times they played them this year, they played them on the second night of a back-to-back. So they haven't been well rested. They haven't been healthy.
Yeah, I was going to say, were we full strength when we played them?
No. And we haven't been full strength, like I said earlier, since November. So it's hard to really gauge this matchup without that. I will say one of the storylines is I was there at Game 7 a few years ago when the Wild played the Golden Knights in the playoffs. They went all the way to Game 7. Golden Knights ended up winning in Vegas, and the goaltender on the ice for Vegas was Marc-Andre Fleury. So, there's some full circle nature to this as well. It's going to be a tough matchup. The Golden Knights are a very good hockey team, but literally and figuratively, and no pun intended, the Wild are a wild card. We don't know what to expect. They've got Kaprizov back now. They've got Joel Eriksson back now. They've got the Zibuiam, who could make some noise potentially if he gets a shot. So we don't know what to expect from the Wild. That's the fun aspect of this. Playoffs are a completely different animal. Will be a fun series, I hope, and I just can't wait to. Last year it felt pretty empty not having that X full of 19,000 plus fans screaming. So they will rock that place. St. Paul will be fun, as well as Minneapolis. It's good to have both the Wolves and the Wild in the postseason this year. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Zacho, you mentioned it was an honor and a privilege to be in the building for Marc-Andre Fleury's last start. It's an honor and a privilege for us to be able to talk to you about Minnesota Wild hockey. I mean, just listening to you describe the scene, I had to almost pull a puff of fro out just to dab at my eyes there, Zacho. We're looking forward to hearing you break down the Minnesota Wild all over the KFAN airwaves. Where can people listen to you, find you, and hear more about the Minnesota Wild?
At Zach Halverson, and of course, KFAN, Minnesota Wild Radio Network. We're going to have it all covered front to back and all the way through, hopefully till June. That's the plan. We're planning until June.
Of course we are, yeah.
For both Wolves and Wild, the fan, iHeartRadio, all that stuff.
Well, this was not a planned KFAN reunion here, but I'm so glad that it happened and that we could bring you two together. So much love in the air right now. I just love it.
Love you, Zach.
See you tomorrow, Max. Love you.
It.
We got to have you on to talk about beard growth, too. I mean, you got a killer beard going on right now. You really got the hockey guy look going.
Thank you very much. I've been working on it a while. Not as long as you with the fro.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we need to swap. Yeah, you take some off your face and put it on mine. I'll take some off my head and put it on yours.
Love it.
We'll have a jersey swap, like a hair swap. It'll be great.
The brotherly love is sticking to you two guys. I love it. All right, thanks, Zach, for hopping on with us and talking Wild. Really, not really many other people I'd want to have on to talk about this today. I was thinking about you yesterday when it was happening, and I just love it when people you admire and respect so much in what they do. Have these moments and get to talk about it. So hats off.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks,
All right,
Max.
you guys.
Thanks.